Hey troops, Roy Fay Geeks Adventures, woohoo! Broadcasting from the green couch in the Clintonville section of Columbus, Ohio. So because of the Snyder cut of Justice League, and of course because, well, Thanos is a thing. Lots of talk about Darkseid, who he is, comparisons and power, blah 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 blah. And lots of talk about his, the Jack Kirby days in DC in the Fourth World. And I started thinking, well, one of the underappreciated stories that I think that over time people have forgotten because there's just so much stuff is the Legion of Superheroes Great Darkness Saga. So, woo! And you're going, Legion of what? Back in the day when these stories were originally published in Legion of Superheroes in, like, was it 1982, something like that, the Legion was the thing. And honestly, one of, if not the most powerful comic book group on the planet. They're like at this time, at their height, they're not only was it a huge, like an Avengers level massive group of characters, the power level was crazy. It was like a combination of the X-Men, the Avengers, and the Justice League. You're looking at a superhero team that had Superboy, and this is from back in the Silver Age, so we're talking like God level. If he punched Galactus in the face, Galactus is going, ah, and Supergirl and Mon-El, all that same level of power. Oh, and Ultra Boy and other high-level characters like Wildfire. So they were uber powerful. They were kicking butt and taking names. So, everything's going cool. So, and eventually that classic moment of, so who do you bring to kind of take this group on? Well, writer, the Paul Levitz and Keith Giffen, bless them, came with the ingenious idea of, you know what, if you're going to be the man, you got to beat the man. The way the story starts is that, all of a sudden, Mon-El and Shadow Girl, two of the characters, just happen to kind of, go wandering around, yada, yada, yada. They, by dumb luck, run into this planet that, kind of uncharted, etc. A level of tech and weapon, they get their butts kicked and manage to escape. And they're calling the local, was not United Federation of Planets. I forget what the galactic thing was called at the time, but they're like, guys, y'all need to post warning signs about this thing. And they're going, what the heck was that anyway? Flash forward a little bit further as the story develops. All of a sudden, these weird things start to happen. Mysterious artifacts are getting captured by these beings all in black, etc., etc. And as it progresses, little things start to become familiar. Giant black shadows. The fact that these beings are coming from all across time and history. The DNA is coming from, it's coming from is coming from Superman. There's DNA coming from superpowered beings from centuries ago. And they're like, what the heck's going on? And what ends up happening is that they realize that it's Darkseid coming back. It's interesting, amongst the 5 billion backstories that's never been touched, that I don't, well, actually, I guess Final Crisis might be the explanation for what happened here. But he's been gone. The Legion of Superheroes takes place in the 30th century. So, literally, 1,000 years, poof, gone. And he's back and going, wow, this is kind of a cool place. And what he does is starts to try and take over all over again, taking on this massive group of beings with a huge amount of power. So how do you fight an army that powerful? Well, this time period, Mon-El, that character, his planet, Daxam, is still around. So what do you do when you have godlike powers and you want to get an army? You take over the planet and you mind control them. Which is what he literally does. there's always been questions about, well, no, isn't he just like Thanos, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Well, Darkseid did not need Infinity Stones or tech to hijack an entire planet, to mind control billions of beings who all each have the power of Superman, to switch that planet's position so that it's in a better strategic position to start an invasion, basically. And let the Great Darkness Saga. The fun of it is the buildup, because literally you never think of him because it's been so long since he has been gone. This is a story to project us so far. It's really like if Cornwallis showed up, magically showed up in Times Square, during one of the MCU movies, going, "I'm going to defeat America again," with Cap and everyone else going, "What?" This is kind of like this, except that, well, Cornwallis is a god. The story, I mean, even now, like I said, unfortunately, it's kind of faded because there's so much material out there. But at the time, and even now, when you look back at it, it is amazing. The artwork is a combination of Blade Runner meets Steve Ditko from his Doctor Strange days. You look at the structures here, like this giant pit that's an entryway into a building. It's not your typical foyer with a stairway. It's a giant pit into the ground. Even the displays. This was the beginning of those funky looking 3D graphics displays. All of this funky information being projected. And you want to talk about Steve Ditko meets Blade Runner. Here we go. Floating cities and everything. It was magnificent. This is the world that penciler Keith Giffen created. And like I said, the story that Paul Levitz wrote was just, it was this wonderful kind of out of left field thing. You're looking at these nigh unstoppable demigods who have been basically spending years going, yeah, we kicking butt and taking names, and then all of a sudden running into these things, what the hell's going on, and realizing there's this wonderful there's this wonderful moment when one of the characters finally puts all the pieces together and kind of smacks himself upside the head. It's Brainiac 5. He goes, he is evil incarnate. And if the legends are accurate, he has the power of a god. Right there, that one. And I love panels and dialogue like that, because it's easy to go on this long, technobabble explanation of, power of 3,000 suns. No. He encapsulates it simply, succinctly, and in the panel, you have this silhouette and this dark shadow, symbolic of everything that this character is talking about. The book is the series is so fun. I remember years ago someone was talking about, and a comic, someone in the industry was talking about how one of the coolest things about a comic book is the fact that you have an unlimited special effects budget. I mean, and it's exemplified in this book. The ultimate battle here between Darkseid and Orion, on this giant lava planet. I just realized that. I wonder if Revenge of the Sith was sort of kind of influenced by this. You're looking at beings. This giant battle against, remember, like I said, 1 billion people with power of Superman here trying to fight them all. Just so fun. So there you go. Please check your local big box store, local online retailer, your local comic shop. Go to your local comic shop and ask them about Legion of Superheroes, the Great Darkness Saga, because it's Anyway, so hey, y'all take care. Have a good rest of the weekend. May the force be with you. May the odds be in your favor. And as always, be good to each other, okay, folks? Peace. Bye.